Hey everybody, Ryndur'd here, back with another Ryndur'd review. Today we're going to be doing Star Wars Black Series Boba Fett, and this is going to be a 2-for-1. Just like with the Clone Troopers, I am reviewing both Prototype Boba Fett and Boba Fett Normal Type. We'll go with Normal Type. So, we'll cover Prototype first. We'll look at the differences, which really aren't many other than the paint. It's the same figure. Paint is the only difference between these two. That and the boxes that they came in. So let's go ahead and look at the boxes first, and then we'll look at Prototype Boba Fett, and then we will move over to regular Boba Fett and just take a scan around at both of these figures. First thing we're going to do, we'll look at the Prototype box, which comes in the blue box. Prototype armor. It is not numbered. It's probably one of the few in here that, actually it is, other than probably the speeder bike and Jabba, that aren't numbered with the blue box. We'll go ahead and look that up. And there's his profile picture, or portrait, if you will. And then I got the back of the box here. No Disney logo on this one. We've got a picture of him. This is filmed from 1978. Boba Fett's initial reveal, if you will. They were filming it. They had just gotten the design approved by George Lucas, and so they were displaying what they had put together at his home, and this is an actual picture, I think, from that reveal. Now, with the Prototype Boba Fett, it's important to know he was initially meant to be a super trooper more than just being a bounty hunter, and that kind of just went along its way. So by the time he was initially introduced in the Star Wars Christmas special, he was just meant to be a super trooper or super stormtrooper. But that's a picture of him back in that time, and his reveal. So that's really nice. And then, of course, here's the box for Boba Fett. Boba Fett was number 6. This was not the first box he was revealed in or released in, because he was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I don't have the exclusive figure, which came with a Carbonite Han Solo. And, of course, the picture on the back of this is from Episode 5, just after torturing Han Solo. Boba Fett reminding Vader that, you know, he can't make any money if he's gone and killed Han Solo. So there's the picture there. Of course, Lando Calrissian and a little bit of Vader on that side. And it looks like the profile picture, the portrait picture there, is the exact same picture. Unlike the Clone Troopers, they didn't use a different picture, so it's the exact same one. So with that said, let's go ahead and get rid of these boxes. Let's go ahead and look at Proto Fett first. We'll get regular Boba Fett out of there. And initially, I think anyone who's a Boba Fett fan is going to love Boba Fett no matter what, even if he's in his all whites. You know, there's just that from the moment I think he was introduced, there's just that appeal that just captured everybody's attention. Since this is in the original all whites, this is supposed to, like I said, reflect the whole Stormtrooper feel. So we've got a good look. He does come with his pull-out blaster, which is a Westar 34 or 35, which Jango Fett had. The version of his gun is more modified than the one that Jango Fett carried. As you might recall, in Episode 2, there were a lot of cutouts within the gun. This particular blaster is said that was modified to fit Boba Fett much more accurately, especially as a child, than what his father actually had. And of course, his fathers were lost. One on Camino, one on Geonosis. The rifle that he carries is a EE-3 carbine blaster. It's a Mandalorian weapon. Boba Fett modified his by adding the stock and a scope. So we'll get a good look at that there. He does hold it pretty well, all things considering, and I like that. It's kind of a pain to get the thumb through, so you just kind of have to wiggle with it a little bit in order to get it out. It's kind of one of the things I think that I'm going to point out a couple of things that probably bug me the most in regards to this. I don't necessarily feel like the weapons should have just been straight black plastic. I think that they could have just been normal weapon colors. You know, it could have kept the holster black. That's kind of understandable. And I think that in the same regard, since the Wookiee braids weren't introduced right away when Boba Fett's reveal was, either remove those or actually make them the color of whatever braided hair they were going to happen to represent. And I think the ones on Boba Fett are colored. I just don't think that they're accurate. He does come with the jetpack. The jetpack is removable, just like on the normal Boba Fett. Pack comes with a peg here. We'll get a closer look at that. And a hole. And there's also two small mini pegs that line up with the hooks back here. I think it kind of helps it just sit a little bit more securely. And just push it on, and there you go. It does have the little poncho cape sriracha thing, and on mine, and really on my other Boba Fett's, same thing. This portion of it's just really, really stiff, whereas the rest of the cloth is more soft and movable. And of course, looking at the rest of the armor, he does have head articulation. He's got a back and forth movement. The head is on a ball joint, so you will get a full 360 turn on his head. You get a little bit of down, a little bit of up, so not too bad there. His arms will go up about that far. The armor on his shoulders limit that, but they are able to turn up. And when you do this, you get a little bit more access to opening his arms up as far as like posability. Same on the side. So you know, that's nice. It's just kind of, oh no, you get a little bit more than what I thought, so not too bad there. Elbows do turn in. The wrist itself, here, let's go ahead and get rid of his gun since we're at it. The wrist, or the elbow itself, will go only so far, but he gets back and forth movement. There's no blocking it, so it kind of, depending on how you want to pose him, you can get some unnatural movements out of his elbow. The hand is always going to be in a gripping position, so holding a gun is pretty much your best bet with him. He didn't come with a different set of hands. He does have wrist articulation for posing. And of course his hands spin 360. Same thing for the shoulders as well. Mine's stiff. I don't really pose this one around. But again, get full 360. Elbow movements. And on this hand, of course, you get the same wrist in and out. So you don't get the up and down as you would. There is waist articulation, so it's good there. You get some leg articulation, not much. Can't really bring those legs up because of the pouches. I know there's some people out there who have modified those patches or kind of spun them around so that they can get some sitting poses with Boba Fett. I haven't done that on any of mine. So again, there's the holster. There's his gun. And he does have knee articulation. He does have dual joints on the knee. So you can get some of that depending on how you want to pose him. Whatever works best for you there. And of course, ankle and foot. It definitely is a nice figure. Like I said, you know, Boba Fett's, I think there's very little that's going to go out on a Boba Fett figure that people are going to get too upset about, because Boba Fett is just that popular. But like I said, the thing I kind of just bugs me about it is, like I said, the braids. Either A, don't have them because it was a proto figure anyways, or B, color them. And the same thing with the weapons. And of course, when Fett was originally released, he didn't have the ding in his helmet. I know, reading on some of the boards out there, that was kind of a downer, because clearly they didn't update the mold at all before just making a white version of this figure. So that's still there. That's still, you know, that's kind of a gripe there for me as well. I think it's something that, you know, paying a little bit more attention to detail on Hasbro's part, instead of just painting something and going, well, there you go, that's what it is, probably would have gone a long way as far as collectors go. This figure could only be purchased at Walgreens, so it is an exclusive to Walgreens only. That's where I found mine. Luckily, I didn't have to go and find it anywhere else. I guess there are people who get it at Walgreens and can, you know, post it up on eBay or Amazon or something like that, but I was able to find mine out in the wild, as they call it, so definitely had to pick it up when I saw it. So that's Proto Fett as far as that goes. We'll set him aside. We'll bring in regular Boba Fett, and this is, of course, the Boba Fett that we all know and love. This is the one that is based off of his Episode 5 design and all his paint schemes. So we'll get a good look at him. Major changes, obviously, are his paint. The visor doesn't go up and down, or not the visor, but the little scope doesn't go up and down. It doesn't do that on either one. I think that would have been a nice addition to this figure, but it's not make or break for me. His gun is painted. He does actually have some details on it. Get some silvery paint in here. Go ahead and bring that out. Get some silvery paint in there for scrapes and dents. And there's a comparison between the two. It's the same mold, it's the same gun, it's just one doesn't have any paint on it, any apps whatsoever. The other one actually has paint apps. The stock is a brown, and it does have silver highlights on it, and the handle, of course, is that kind of a tannish color as well. And get a look on the other side, just painted the exact same way, just same side. Different view. So not too bad as far as that goes. And then as a side, because I'm just laying the figures down for some reason, let's go ahead and bring out both the hold-out pistols here. His is, of course, brown. You get the silver in the gun versus just the straight black. I don't know. I still think that they just could have just gone a different way. They could have even gone so far as leave the majority of this pistol black and just highlighted, like on this gun, the silver points. And I think I would have been fine with that. I think it would have, you know, that would have sufficed enough for me. And of course, here's his braids. One being gray, one black, and then one kind of an off cream color. So not too much detail there. A lot of silver scrapes on the helmet, kind of showing it's battle worn. More dings and dents. Of course, the Mandalorian symbol on his shoulder. And the backpack is more of a solid green than anything else. And then, of course, silver highlights, scrapes and paints. More detail on the belt itself as far as colors go. So you get a look at that there. Bring it around. Same articulation point, so I'm not going to go through all of those on this figure. Just more of a comparison to what they released later on versus what they didn't. Of course, there's this sculpted in sonic weapon blades and stuff that he had. Dart launchers on the knees as well. He had a dart launcher on his wrist and what was supposed to be a flamethrower here, based on the original designs, and then of course another laser on the side of his wrist there. But getting a close look at them, again, not a lot's changed other than the paint. So get a good look at all the way around here. This would probably help if I did that. So, and then of course they did change up the paint color, and as you can see, this is still pretty stiff right through here on his poncho, cape, sriracha thing. I don't know what you call that. So there you go. And we'll get, of course, a look on the side there. But I like them. I still like to knock over Boba Fett. I actually have Boba Fett standing next to Jabba the Hutt on my display itself. Proto Fett I've kept pretty much in the box, not because I don't want to have them out, just because I just keep them in the box for the most part. I may actually display them later on. I don't know. I haven't decided. But I do have Boba Fett out. I do have him set up, like I said, next to Jabba the Hutt and Leia and all that. And it is a highlight piece. It's one of my favorites as far as the ones I like to show off. So, highly recommend this figure. If you find either one, highly recommend picking them up. You know, since original Boba Fett came out over a year ago. Came out just before Christmas of 2013. It will be kind of difficult unless you look on some of the third-party sites. Some Walgreens are still selling the Proto Fett, so you can get lucky if you have a Walgreens in your area. Just check it out. They've been, kind of selling some of those figures still every now and again. So I think you can even find them online. On Walgreens.com, I think is what it is. So get a good look. You can find it and you can get it. And if you're lucky enough to get it online, pick it up. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Boba Fett, Proto Fett, highly recommend them. They're a great addition to any collection. So go on out and find them. Add them to your collections. And enjoy them.